Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Make sure you click the Teespring link in the description box. Got some new designs for green gear in there. Check it out. Hit that Teespring link in the description box. New designs of green gear. Now, there's a couple things I want to talk about that I didn't touch on from the Amy Barrett confirmation hearing from the, I think, day before yesterday it was. And sad news for New York City. So, a few things real quick. Number one, I'm not sure who it was. I believe he was a Republican based on his lack of ridiculous reaction to her answer. But one of the guys up there, one of the senators up there asking her questions, he said, so, all of us here, we have notes and different things we're jotting down. What do you have on your notepad? She has a little notepad sitting in front of her, and she holds it up and has absolutely nothing on. No doodling, not a word, a sentence, nothing. And she holds it up, puts it back down, and then she's like, oh, never mind. It has the heading of United States Senate. So basically, what came on this piece of paper, which was the heading that said United States Senate, that's the only writing on here. And I took that as her saying, what notes? What am I supposed to keep track of? What talking points do I need to hit? How do you prepare for a waste of fucking time? How do you prepare for bullshit? This lady's used to preparing for real things, for cases, for things, articles, papers she might be writing, real life stuff. Probably wrote a chore chart or two in her day with 7 kids. But how is she supposed to prepare and write notes for a waste of time and tax money? I mentioned in another video how Cory Salticus Booker asked her, can you denounce white supremacy? Man, you do know you're on the clock, right? You do know that we're paying you to answer these questions, and that's what you come up with? And then the senator from Hawaii, I call her Miss Swan, because she looks, number one, she looks just like her. Why do all these fools look like the old Fox lineup? Because you got Klobuchar, looks like the mom from that 70s show. Now you got the senator from Hawaii who looks like Miss Swan. I tell you everything, okay? He look like a man. And that's as serious as we should take these fucking people. So she, on the taxpayer's dime, on the clock, when she is there to ask questions, that's why you're here. You are here for questions. So bring your best, right? So she, with a straight face and on the clock, says, have you ever been accused of or convicted of or whatever of sexual assault or sexual harassment? You couldn't find this by a simple check in her background check, look at her employment records. That kind of information from somebody on that level is easy to come by. Hold on a second. Drop something. All right. That kind of information is easy to come by, especially when you're a sitting U.S. senator and you're interviewing this person for a Supreme Court seat. I think you guys, what do they call that? Getting your ducks in a row, dotting all your I's and crossing your T's. What were you guys doing? You were supposed to be doing that, because obviously you weren't, because you came to this hearing and asked her if she's ever been accused of sexual harassment or sexual assault. These are elected officials who get paid a lot of money every single year. They get free travel, free health care, free security, free boarding for the rest of their life. And this is what they came with. People of Hawaii, next time she's up for re-election, if you re-elect that woman, you are just as dumb as she is. Another thing, Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare, when she was, I almost said grilling, but it wasn't really that. It was when she was wasting 30 minutes of our lives that we will never get back, when she was interviewing Amy Barrett. Now, being completely honest, there was like the first 10 minutes, she was just talking. There were no questions. She was just rambling and talking about a bunch of stupid shit. So then when she finally gets to the question, she starts talking to her about abortion and a woman's right to choose, and abortion is health care. I take issue with that. Abortion has nothing to do with your health unless the baby is threatening, the presence of the baby threatens the mother's life. Other than that, abortion has nothing to do with your health. An abortion is a procedure, but it's not health care. See, they lump it in with shit like that. You don't want that. That's why this feeling shit is so dangerous, because it gets us into policies that are not rational. They're not applicable to everyday life. Abortions are not fucking health care. Checkups, that kind of stuff is health care. Going to be seen when you're ill, that's health care. An abortion is a procedure, and you don't have to have it because you don't have to get pregnant. You can't help if you get sick. Aside from smoking and drinking and shit, you can't help if you get cancer. You get it. My dad got cancer. He never, well, hold on. I can't say he never smoked a cigarette a day in his life. When he was about 9 or 10 years old, his dad caught him smoking. So his dad gave him a pack of cigarettes and didn't let him leave the shed until he smoked them all. So other than that, my dad never smoked. He got cancer. Shit like that you can't help. That's healthcare. Abortion is not. A woman's right to choose. What about the father's right to choose? Babies don't get dropped off by a fucking stork. Two people gotta lay down. One of them has to go, hey, yeah, into the other one to make the baby. So why doesn't the one putting the batter in the fucking oven have a say? Anyway, abortion is not healthcare. It's not the same. It should not be lumped in with healthcare. It's not on the same level. Most abortions are performed for inconvenience. Over 90% are performed because, ew, not right now. All right? That's the truth. I know you won't find it with the Ugandan nightmare, but that is the truth. That shit pisses me off when they say abortion is healthcare. No, it's not. Abortions should be rare, right? And what did Hillary say? We shouldn't use abortions all willy-nilly like birth control. Well, that's what she said at first, until they all switched. You can go back to the 90s, and all these crazy wannabe socialist fuckers were saying the same thing Trump was, or Trump is, in 1995. Clinton, Schumer, Pelosi, all of them were singing the same tune that got Trump into the White House in the 90s. Check it out. Also, New York. Man, I hate to close it on this note, but New York, you guys got Mayor de Blasio running your city, running it into the fucking ground. People not working, the city shut down, but he has enough time to get out there and play finger paints and put BLM, put Black Lives Matter in giant letters on the street. Remember that photo op? So I'm hoping that in the next election, New Yorkers, fucking New Yorkers, I'm hoping you guys will vote de Blasio out. I know a lot of you want to. I see you in my comment section. There are New Yorkers that don't stand for this shit and they want their city back. I got it. You don't want it to belong to an SJW socialist piece of shit. But it looks like that's exactly what you're going to get, because there are a few other people running that are going to be running for mayor. I guess de Blasio's term is over January 1st, 2022. So there's this lady who's running, and I'm like, all right, somebody new. Sorry, red flag. She used to be a lawyer for MSNBC. Fuck. So then there's this other guy named Ray McGuire. Black guy, he's black. So that's victimhood level number 1. Check. So he wants to run for mayor, and I guess he's vice president or assistant CEO, whatever you want to call it. He's one of the higher ups in Citigroup. So he's quitting his job. I think he quit today, and he's going to throw in his hat in the ring for mayor. So I'm thinking, all right, another opportunity for change. Here comes somebody else. Sounds like a businessman. He's probably going to run New York City like a business and clean it up. Nope. Shit, Ray. He wrote some paper for Citigroup that was talking about closing the racial inequality gap. Now, I've heard of income inequality, but I never heard of racial inequality. So are you saying that colored people aren't equal to white people? Are we not equal to other races? Because that's what this shit's all about. You're buying into a narrative that you are inferior, which is fucking stupid. Why would you allow somebody to tell you that you're inferior? But that's what they believe. They believe that white people are superior to them, obviously because they think that white people have control over our lives, that white people have it better than us, and that there's some white man, I still never caught a glimpse of him. I've seen a blurry picture of Bigfoot. I haven't seen a blurry picture of this fucking white dude who's supposed to be keeping me down. Or keeping us down, them down, whatever you want to say. This mystical figure, I've never seen him. But apparently he's there and he's holding us back. That's what they all believe. So this black man who ascended to the upper levels of Citigroup says that he's still just a black, whatever that means, just a black man. He said people just see a black man when he goes out in public. They just see, and I quote, they just see a 6'4", 200-pound black man. That's it. Now let's dissect this for a second. Like I said, second in charge at Citigroup. What kind of money do you think that man makes? Let's lowball that shit, lowball it. Let's say he makes $150,000 a year. So if he's making that kind of money, where do you think he lives? Where do you think he shops? Where do you think he socializes? He probably shops and socializes in places where there are other people that make his kind of money or more, other well-off people. So if you're traveling in these groups of people and you're living in these areas and shopping and all that, why would you be concerned about how people view you? Obviously, they would see you as one of them. You're here. You're standing next to them on Saks Fifth Avenue. You're standing right next to them at the Burberry store. You're right behind him in line at the Louis Vuitton store, Whole Foods, wherever well-to-do people shop. So why would they just see a black man when they see you? And most importantly, even if they just see, oh, look at that 6'4", 200-pound Negro. Who gives a fuck? Because you're probably going to go out in the parking lot and go on a fucking Mercedes. So who cares? Who fucking cares what they think? Your house has an echo. Your suits are tailored. Your kids go to school where they wear uniforms. Who gives a fuck what anybody thinks? You made it. You're successful. You're in that 1%. That's the problem. You care too much about what other people think about you. That's why you'll never be free. You'll always be a slave in your mind. When slavery ended, for a lot of black folks, they took the shackles off their ankles and put them even tighter around their mind. And you've seen it time and time again, unfortunately, black people who have ascended to those levels who are still fucking slaves. Still. You've achieved all the material things that is pumped into black kids' minds, has been for decades. You're there. You're on TV. You got the nice homes, the jewelries, the cars, the beautiful women, whatever, beautiful men, whatever you're into. You got it. And you still think you're inferior simply because of somebody's skin color. Remember Oprah said that a homeless white person has it better than a black person? This woman's a fucking billionaire. And she still thinks she's just an inferior black person. She still thinks people are better than her because they're white. You're fucking stupid. All that money, all that fame did nothing for your mind. You're still a dumbass. You're still a moron. All they see is a 6'4", 2. I don't give a shit what you see. You better see some success. But this dumbass, this mental slave, is running to be mayor of New York City. You guys are fucked. You're fucked now because you got de Blasio, and you're fucked in the future because this is who's gonna be running. And it's probably going to be worse if Ray McGuire gets in there because he's draped in victimhood, which means nobody's going to call him to the carpet. He's going to be unaccountable, and it's not his fault. Look at him. Slavery, right? What they need to be talking about, the only slavery that needs to be brought up time and fucking time again is the slavery up here because that's most damaging. Those slaves that had shackles around their ankles are more free than you modern day fucking dumbass slaves who believe that you're inferior because you're not white. Man, Hollywood couldn't write this shit. But I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm going to make a healthy choice and walk up a steep hill with a sweatshirt on and sweat. And then after that, I'm going home to my beautiful wife and kids. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit liberal cries. Get your Jericho Green notification tone link in the description box. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm